Can I read to you? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's illustrated, so if there is a picture, I will show you. I opened the book. It says, okay, all the chapters. I don't know why there's so many. It's such a short book. But when you open it, it says, there are 5 children in this book. Augustus Gloop, a greedy boy. How close are the mountains? Close. Veruca Salt, a girl who is spoiled by her parents. Violet Beauregard, a girl who chews gum all day long. Mike TV, a boy who does nothing but watch television. Wow, what a unique and different name. And Charlie Bucket, the hero. Okay, can I be so serious with you? Is Charlie Bucket really the hero of this book, though? He's just the only survivor, but he's not really a hero. What did he do? I don't think I'd classify him as a hero. He didn't really do that much, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just stood there. Do you know what ruined Shrek 3? Justin Timberlake. And honestly, the whole plot. Honestly, okay, he may be innocent, but that doesn't make him a hero. What'd he do? Win a golden ticket? So you're saying every person that wins the lottery is a hero? Every bystander is a hero? Because realistically, that's what he is. He's a bystander. When Augustus Gloop fell into the chocolate fountain, the chocolate river, whatever, did Charlie jump in after him and save him? That's what a hero would do. No, he just stood and he watched and he said, that sucks. Anyways, let's continue on the tour. Like, I don't know. It's giving fake hero to me. Sorry, there was a price sticker on it because I got this at the thrift store. And the sticky stuff on it pisses me off. He doesn't need to involve himself in someone's business, but then they shouldn't be listing him as a hero. That's not what a hero does. A hero would have said, "Excuse me, Mr. Willy Wonka, you're being so disrespectful." But he literally doesn't even stand up to Willy Wonka. In fact, he sucks his ass in this book. He's just like, oh, well, maybe the kid shouldn't have done that then, Willy Wonka. Why don't you use them as the secret ingredient in your chocolate and make your chocolate taste better? Define hero? Well, they have to be like somewhat helpful at least. That's the bare minimum of a hero. Like, make yourself useful. Can I be so serious with you? I didn't watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory till I was a teenager, I'm pretty sure. And one day I was at my best friend's house at the time. It was in high school. And I was like, I don't know, the idea of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory really scares me. And she's like, why? And I'm like, well, because he's stealing these children to put in his chocolate. Like, that's why his chocolate tastes so good. And she's like, what? That's not what happened. I'm like, is it not what happened though? Like, I was always under this notion that Willy Wonka is stealing the children. Like, he's tempting them on purpose. Augustus Gloop loved fucking chocolate so much. I fucking love chocolate. I like the chocolate river. So he tempted him with the chocolate river. He said, don't jump in it. What did he do? He jumped in it on purpose. Do you know what I mean? He tempted them all on purpose. Oh, Mike TV likes TV. What did he do? Tempt him with a fucking TV. Violet Beauregard, she loves gum. What did he do? Here's the gum section. This is the best gumball in the world, but you can't have it. He tempted them on purpose. It's giving man in a white van offering the kids chocolate and candy. You know what I mean? He's luring them. That's what he's doing. He's luring them. He lured Veruca Salt because he knew she was spoiled. So he showed her anything that would make her want it, you know? She said, Daddy, I want a squirrel. What'd she do? Go get a fucking squirrel. It's on purpose. And then Charlie Bucket, he was the natural hero because he had zero interest and he was boring and poor. That's what makes him a hero. He's boring and poor and has zero interests. Great hero that is. With his freaking bringing his useless grandpa who magically can walk to the chocolate factory, but he's bedridden when it comes to supporting his family. Is that a hero? Couldn't tell you. I'm giving you a whole in-depth analysis of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but it's so true. Like, it's annoying. Like, the first page, that's these old fucks in the bed, okay? The first page literally says, these two very old people are the father and mother of Mr. Bucket. Their names are Grandpa Joe and Grandma Josephine. They're literally in bed. That's all they want to do, be in bed. But how come when Charlie gets the golden ticket, Grandpa Joe all of a sudden magically goes, I don't want to be in bed no more. Why don't I do that? Why don't I stay bedridden until someone says, you won the lottery. Do you want to share? I'll be like, I'm cured. Let me get up and do jumping jacks and go to the chocolate factory. Like, but still, it's just upsetting. This book is upsetting, and I'm only on the second page. Like, I can't get over it.
Zero Riddle 2 donated $20. Get out of bed.
For the $20. Thank you. I'm awake. I'm up. I'm cured. It's a miracle. Okay. These names are not even unique. Grandpa Joe and Grandma Josephine. Then you turn the paper, more old fucks in their bed. These two very old people are the father and mother of Mrs. Bucket. Their names are Grandpa George and Grandma Georgina. George and Georgina. Joe and Josephine. First of all, no one's name is Joe. It's Joseph. Or Giuseppe. No one's name is flat out Joe. What? Or Josiah. Or Joseph. No one's name is effing Joe. Is George short for anything? No, I don't think so. Oh my god, let me get this straight. Kiwi, let me get this straight. I just read again. It says, this is Mr. Bucket, this is Mrs. Bucket. Mr. and Mrs. Bucket have a small boy whose name is Charlie Bucket. Those are his capable parents. Let me get this straight. He has two sets of grandparents, this spoiled fuck. This fuck has 4 grandparents, 2 working, capable parents, and they're still poor? And they're still trying to find this golden fucking ticket. And they're still all lazy slobs betting on Charlie Bucket to save their fucking family? This title might be misleading. I'm stressing because of this book. This can't be real. It's not, I know, but still. I don't get it. It shows him on the next page. Look, he looks so lonely. It says, this is Charlie. How do you do? And how do you do? And how do you do again? He's pleased to meet you. Bitch, they're talking to you guys. They said, how do you do? And how do you do? And how do I do? And how do you do? They know, bitch. They know. I'm reading to you. Oh my god. Do you want to know what is a really good sign right now? It's actually not a good sign. It's a horrible sign. I bought this book at the thrift store. Please remember that I bought this at the thrift store. I've never read through it. Okay? I opened this page. It's the 3rd page of the book, or 4th page. It says, the whole of this family, the 6 grown-ups, in brackets, count them, and little Charlie Bucket lived together in a small wooden house on the edge of a great town. Whoever owned this book, underlined, on the edge. Just take me out. In Pennsylvania, I didn't even know there was the Hershey factory. You've read this book, Fishy? All the way on the edge. You have this in your car? How the fuck? It's literally underlined on the edge. Oh my god, there's more. It says, the house wasn't nearly large enough for so many people, and life was extremely uncomfortable for them all. There were only 2 rooms in the place altogether, and there was only one bed. The bed was given to the 4 old grandparents because they were so old and tired. They were so tired they never got out of it. And someone underlined all together and wrote together, all together. Look it up. I'm not joking. That's what they wrote. Why are they telling me to look it up? Oh my god. I feel attacked. You know what else is underlined? Screwed. They underlined screwed. Oh, screwed and on the edge. They know me. They also underlined pure torture on the next page. Oh my god, who owned this book? They gave up underlining after a little while. I think they only did the first chapter, actually. Play the lottery? I wish the lottery had words instead of numbers. I'd pick torture, the edge, screwed. Then I would know. I also just don't like the writing. I'm sorry, Roald Dahl. But tell me if this sentence makes sense. Okay, they're talking about the grandparents in bed, in the same bed, right? He wrote, Grandpa Joe and Grandma Josephine on this side, and Grandpa George and Grandma Georgina on this side. If you're gonna write like that, just say this side and that side. Why are you putting this side and this side again? What? I, I don't get it. Grandma Joe and Grandma Josephine on this side, Grandpa George and Grandma Georgina on this side. They're both on all this side? What? Then who's on that side? Who's on the other side? And look at this. Mr. and Mrs. Bucket and little Charlie Bucket slept in the other room upon mattresses on the floor. Fucking boomers and their spoiled mentality. They let their grandson sleep on the floor? Who raised them? I would never pick if that was my Grandpa Joe, laying in bed like a useless slob. If that were me, if I was Charlie Bucket, I would not be inviting him to the chocolate factory. I would invite one of my parents. Like, there wasn't any question of them being able to buy a better house or even one more bed to sleep in. They were far too poor for that. They live in a hobo hut. There's 6 adults and 1 child. Are they not even getting a pension? I don't understand. I don't hate the elderly, but these ones I kind of do. Where's their pension, at least? I don't understand. Mr. Bucket was the only person in the family with a job. Of course. Does this take place in America? What? I came across that word screwed that's underlined. The sentence is, he worked in a toothpaste factory where he sat all day long at a bench and screwed the little caps onto the tops of the tubes of toothpaste after the tubes had been filled. And they underlined screwed. But a toothpaste cap screwer is never paid very much money, and poor Mr. Bucket, however hard he worked and however fast he screwed on the caps, was never able to make enough to buy 1/2 of the things that so large a family needed. Why is Mr. Bucket the only one with a job? What's Mrs. Bucket doing? Taking care of the elderly folks that don't even get a fucking pension? Bro, just let them starve at this point. Oh my god. There wasn't even enough money to buy proper food, so they're starving anyways. The only meals they could afford were bread and margarine for breakfast, boiled potatoes and cabbage for lunch, and cabbage soup for supper. Oh, they're gonna be skinny legends. They all looked forward to Sundays because then, although they had exactly the same, everyone was allowed a second helping. What makes Sunday so special? Football Sunday? Is that why they get to have seconds? Why can't they have seconds of fucking cabbage? It's saying Charlie is a starving child. It says they didn't starve, but they went from morning till night with a horrible empty feeling in their tummies, and Charlie felt it worst of all. Hello, you know what that feeling in your stomach is, bitch? Starvation. Like, you say they're not starving, but they're hungry. You know what that is? Starving. You're starving with no food. You're hungry and you have no food. That's called starving. This book is crazy. Interesting. It says here, although his father and mother often went without their own share of lunch or supper so they could give it to him, it still wasn't nearly enough for a growing boy. How are they able to skip out on the already skimpy food that they have? Are they malnourished? Or is the dad sneaking away to Burger King at lunch, on his lunch break? Because no way a grown man can subsist on cabbage soup every single day and not be malnourished. It's giving food sneaky. Grandpa should starve. I agree. The one thing he longed for more than anything else was chocolate. I think if I was starving and I felt malnourished, I wouldn't even crave chocolate. I'd crave real food. But I'm superior. These old people gotta be kicked to the curb. Only once a year on his birthday did Charlie Bucket ever get to taste a bit of chocolate. The whole family, okay, this is what I disagree with here. This is what I don't like. It says the whole family saved up their money for that special occasion, and when the great day arrived, Charlie was always presented with one small chocolate bar to eat all by himself. First of all, what money is the whole family saving up? It's the dad that's working. What are the grandparents saving? Their bed sores for this fucking chocolate bar? Like, why are you giving them credit here? I'd be thinking about pizza or a burger. I'd be thinking of a fat, juicy burger. That's so annoying. I don't like that they give them credit here. The whole family saved up their money for his birthday to get him a fucking chocolate bar. Hello? That's like not even like a tenth of an hour of work for the dad. The grandparents are not saving up jack shit. I don't like that. And it's $1. How much is this cabbage that they're buying? Because cabbage here is more than that. I don't know. It's confusing. This is giving diet culture to me. It says he would place the chocolate carefully in a small wooden box and treasure it as though it were a bar of solid gold, and for the next few days he would allow himself only to look at it but not even touch it. It's giving sniff the chocolate, eat the apple, sniff the chocolate, eat the cabbage. That's not okay with me. The author grew up around the Cadbury factory. Cadbury? Well, that makes sense. But do you know what's weird? Is there's a brand of chocolate called Wonka. They make nerds. Weird. Charlie would make his 10-cent bar of birthday chocolate last him for more than a month. Why can't I be that skinny? And also, it's 10 cents, bitch. What? Where are the grandparents getting these pennies? They were fucking scrounging. They were looking through the bed sheets to see if there's someone dropped a fucking nickel. Oh, they're talking about Wonka's factory. I can't believe I'm already on chapter 2 of this. James, 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 James. He went from the guy that lied To the guy that makes his chicken fried. Ah! I like that one. He went from the guy that lied to the guy that makes his chicken fried. James. I should be songwriter. It's not propaganda if it's real. It's not a picnic, but I did eat my jar of Nutella. Relax, it wasn't a big jar of Nutella. Don't freak out. I ate this mini jar of Nutella for my snack and put my hood on. Good night. Okay. They're actually so rude in this book. Every one of these old people were over 90. They were as shriveled as prunes and as bony as skeletons. And throughout the day, until Charlie made his appearance, they lay huddled in their one bed, two at either end, with nightcaps on to keep their heads warm, dozing the time away with nothing to do. Bitch, are you sure there's nothing to do? Y'all are broke. It says here that the old people would tell stories for perhaps a half hour every night, and the room would become a happy place, and the whole family would forget that it was hungry and poor. How do you forget you're hungry and poor? When I'm hungry, that's the first thing on my mind every single second. How does Grandpa Joe know so much about Willy Wonka? And why is he talking up this man so much? And Grandpa Joe's the oldest one and he brings him? He's 96 and a half? This is crazy. 96-year-olds love chocolate. Are you sure? He's not 96 in the movie. This doesn't even make sense. He himself invented more than 200 new kinds of candy bars, each with a different center and each far sweeter and creamier and more delicious than anything the other chocolate factories can make. Are there even 200 flavors in existence? And how does he make chocolate and candy and gum? See you soon. You got a golden ticket. I didn't get a golden ticket. There's a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory slot machine on FanDuel, and I played it a few times. Every time I had the opportunity to get the golden ticket, I didn't get it ever. Ever, ever, ever. Did you know that he's invented a way of making chocolate ice cream so that it stays cold for hours and hours without being in the ice box? Does that exist right now still? You can even leave it lying in the sun all morning on a hot day and it won't go runny. That's so impossible. Even Charlie said that's impossible. At least he's smart. I'm reading you the highlights. Mr. Willy Wonka can make marshmallows that taste of violets. Ew. Rich caramels that change color every 10 seconds as you suck them. How would you know? They're in your effing mouth. And little feathery sweets that melt away deliciously the moment you put them between your lips. So fucking cotton candy, bitch. He could make chewing gum that never loses its taste. Oh, that's actually really useful. I like that one. Candy balloons that you can blow up to enormous sizes before you pop them with a pin and gobble them up. And by a most secret method, he can make lovely bluebirds' eggs with black spots on them. And when you put one of these in your mouth, it gradually gets smaller and smaller until suddenly there's nothing left except a tiny little pink sugary baby bird sitting on the tip of your tongue. That's weird. I don't know if I like that one. How is your mouth watering just thinking about it? That's what Grandpa Joe said. How is your mouth watering to that? To eating a fucking baby bird? That's weird. Oh, now they're getting racist. This is the racist part. Tell Charlie about that crazy Indian prince. Prince Pondicherry? He asked Willy Wonka to go to India and build him a colossal palace entirely out of chocolate. I feel like India would be a really bad place to build a chocolate palace, respectfully, because Indian summers. You're like an Indian summer in the middle of a winter. You know that song by Katy Perry? It's just gonna all melt away. So he didn't even, and then he finished the palace, and the prince said he's not even gonna eat it at all. Not even nibble the staircase or lick the walls. That's crazy. The prince dozed off in the living room and woke up to find himself swimming around in a huge brown sticky lake of chocolate. You know who would like that? Augustus Gloop. See, this is where it gets a little creepy. Grandpa Joe leaned closer to Charlie and lowered his voice and said, "Nobody ever comes out." And then Charlie's like, "Out of where?" And he's like, "And nobody ever goes in." And Charlie's like, "In where?" And he said, "Wonka's factory." Like workers and people. Like, are they being killed? What's going on? That's kind of spooky, I think. It's just kind of scary. What the heck? This is so freaky. Charlie says there must be people working there. And Grandpa Joe said, "Not people, Charlie. Not ordinary people, anyway." Like, that's so. Are you talking about the Oompa Loompas? It is a nice day. It's kind of like breezy right now. That's why I put my sweater on. I'm glad I brought it because it was getting chilly. My stomach's growling reading about this. The Oompa Loompas. Oompa Loompa. Doopity dip. They're so creepy. That's crazy. So Wonka fired thousands of people because they were spies pretending to be ordinary workers, but it turns out they were like trying to find his recipes. Oh, hear me out. Did you ever imagine Willy Wonka with a beard? Because here it says Mr. Willy Wonka tore his beard and shouted, "This is terrible. I shall be ruined. There are spies everywhere. I shall have to close the factory." I didn't think he had a beard. Not an Oompa Loompa. Apparently, he never used to have a beard before. So basically, the Oompa Loompas live in the factory. I've seen both Willy Wonka movies, the original and the one with Johnny Depp. I think the Johnny Depp one's better, but maybe that's an unpopular opinion. Wonka factory to be opened at last to lucky few. Do you know what's kind of weird? Why is this story famous? What is the plot twist? I keep thinking about it, and it's like, okay, it's about a chocolate maker. It's about few people being lucky enough to get into the chocolate factory, but like, what is the plot twist? What makes it so interesting being in the chocolate factory? What's so like it would have been more cool if it was like a mystery where it was like, ooh, like he's doing something secretive and scary in there. But yeah, I feel like there needs to be a plot twist. I'm good. I'm reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Have you read this one before? She's so dumb. So Charlie gets one chocolate bar per year and he gets the golden ticket. That's not Charlie, bitch. That's Willy Wonka. Why can't I be that lucky? Oh, I miss the effing chats. Mother heifer. Oh my god. The first golden ticket was found by Augustus Gloop. Happy 4th of July. Makes me want a hot dog. Real bad. Makes me want a hot dog. Real bad.